do it.
Okay.
Okay, so let me share my screen with you and we will get started. So our very first, which I think is, which they're all going to be huge, but I think this one is probably one of the ones that literally makes a difference between somebody who becomes a partner and maybe works their way up our compensation plan, and those who go all the way to national marketing director. And that's this area of focus. And so I love this book, and I read it literally in 2004. I pulled it back out. It's by John Maxwell, and it's called 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. And so this whole topic of focus, I think, makes all the difference in the world on the longevity of a person who is in this business, as well as people who literally go all the way to national marketing director, is keeping that focus steady. And not, for me, as most of you know, I've had to literally step away a bit in light of what's going on with my brother. So I need this as well. How do I stay focused in the midst of a crisis, a health crisis that's going on in my family? And some of you guys, I know, have crisis going on. We can't live life without going in and out of things that will vie for our attention and our focus. And so how do we stay focused? How do we stay plugged in those tough seasons, as well as even in the good seasons? Sometimes we're pulled away as well. And so as I was reading this chapter, what I did was pull out 4 areas that he talked about, 4 areas that leaders need to stay honed in and focused on. And I'm going to read you a quote, and I thought it was pretty powerful. It says, "What does it take to have the focus required to be a truly effective leader?" And I think if you're on this call today, you want to be a leader. If you've got partners on your team, you are a leader. So what does it take to be an effective leader? And how do you get focus? And he said the keys are priorities and concentration. Priorities and concentration. A leader who knows his priorities but lacks concentration knows what to do but never gets it done. So if you know what the priorities are but you lack concentration, you know what to do, you just don't get it done. Or if he has concentration but no priorities, he has excellence without progress. So, but when he harnesses both, he has the potential to achieve great things. So what I'm going to ask you guys is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning lacking in focus, 10 meaning laser focus, where do you fall? Just grab a piece of paper and write down where you fall, because we're going to get into some questions, and I want you not only to look at where are you, and then as we ask questions, maybe you can pinpoint, okay, here's areas that I see, whether it's areas of priority or areas of concentration. Okay, so he talked about in this chapter, number 1, we got to be working on ourselves. What am I personally doing that will help me regain that focus? I've been pulled away and have been for several weeks now. Lord willing, that's going to ease up, but it might not. So how do I balance that focus and work on myself to keep in focus when there are things pulling me away? What am I personally doing? What can I do to improve my focus if here's where I want to go in this business? And maybe that's a question we have to ask ourselves even before we jump into this is, what do I truly want out of this business? And it's going to be different for each one of us. I remember in the beginning, I was scratching my head. I'm like, Scott, I don't get it. Why is so-and-so, why are they, I know they have all the potential in the world. Why are they not just exploding with this business? And he said, you have to step back and find out what their goals and desires are. Everyone doesn't want to be a national marketing director like you do, Elaine. They may be perfectly happy where they are. And I think as leaders, we got to find out, what do we want? Where do we want to go? And we got to give our team, our partners, that benefit of the doubt to say, where is it that you want to go with it? Mm-hmm. And then that'll help drive our focus, I believe, when we really know to what level we want to go. So one, work on ourselves. You know, we can't expect, if we're on a scale of 1 to 10, you know me, I love this, asking ourselves this question, but on a scale of 1 to 10 as a partner in this business, as a leader, what am I? Am I a 3? Am I a 5? Am I a 7? If I'm really being honest with myself, I'm not going to attract people that are better leaders than I am, most likely. So if I want to attract people that are 7, 8, 9, 10, I have to be a 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's going to take focus on me working on myself, trying to get better, trying to be honest. Where are those areas of myself that I need to get better? That next area he talked about is work on my activities. So if I have to get better, what are the things I need to be doing? What are those priorities, those activities that I need to be executing every single day so that I can literally, if I'm a 7, how do I get to a 10? And what are the activities I need to be doing on a daily basis? The third area, work on your strengths. A lot of times we beat ourselves up about, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. Well, here's why I'm not where I want to be in this business, because of this weakness or that weakness. I'm here to tell you, we all have weaknesses, and we all have strengths. And what we want to do is identify our strengths. I don't know how many of y'all have read that book, Now Discover Your Strengths by Marcus Buckingham. Phenomenal book. In knowing what our strengths are. And so you go through a test, and many of you've done this, and maybe we'll do it again. And you identify your 5 strengths, and then how do I build my business within those strengths? One of my strengths, my top 5, is focus. So I really know when I've lost focus. I'm very aware of that. But, you know, find out what your 5 strengths are and then really work within them. What are those? So write down some of your strengths as we're talking. What are your strengths? And then figure out, okay, here are the activities we need to do to build and grow a business. You know, reaching out to new people, sharing information, reaching out to our current customers, you know, finding out how they're doing, finding out who they know that needs to get on Juice Plus, finding out if maybe they want to join us in this community. You know, I know without a doubt my health has changed, and this being a Juice Plus partner holds me accountable personally with what I eat, because I feel like I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to eat what's right, you know? Okay, so work on our strengths. What are they? And if you really say, you know what, I don't know what my strengths are and how they play into me as a Juice Plus partner, then, you know, send me a text message and I'll send you the link to Now Discover Your Strengths, where you can take a free test and find out what they are. And that next area is work with your partners. You know, if we are a leader, are we a leader that people want to follow? And if so, we need to be reaching out to those people we brought in the business and say, how can I help? What do you want to do? How can I, you know, put you in contact with somebody who I think you'll connect with? Or I'll send you some information that I think that you're going to love, that will help develop and grow you in this business. Whatever we can, we brought them in. It's our responsibility to be connecting with them. And I'm like anyone else. I fall short in all of these areas, but I love this book, and it's reminding me, what am I doing this week to improve myself and make myself a better leader? What activities do I need to be doing? And I'm gonna come back to this screen, but here's one thing. I literally have this printed out. And maybe this is something that we send out on every Sunday, is developing a plan. What prospects am I going to connect with this week? Who am I going to follow up with from last week? what customers need to hear from me, and what partners can I lock arms with? How can I help my partners help them reach their goals? So the better I have a plan, execute the plan, review the plan from last week, and then adjust whatever I need to adjust. And you know what? I'm going to get ahead of myself. So I'm going to pull Brenda in. So thanks, Brenda, for being my guinea pig this week.
Always.
And we're going to talk about, and so here's what I want to challenge you guys to do. Grab a piece of paper if you don't already have one. And as Brenda and I kind of process, and this will be a time of confession. We're going to confess those areas that we personally need to work on. And I want you guys to write it down because we may be calling on some of you if we have time. But in light of our 4 areas that we talk about focusing, working on ourselves, working on our activities, working on our strengths, and working with our partners. Brenda, I'm going to throw these questions out, and you and I both are going to kind of answer them for everybody. Brenda, what area of growth do you feel like right now you personally need to work on? If I'm looking at, those 4, or maybe it even falls outside of those 4 categories that we talked about. What area do you feel like personally you want to see growth in?
Well, this has been so powerful for me because I think focus has been a real issue with me. And over the last month, just having the opportunity to really be focused. My areas I realized through this are time management and accountability. And I think, as to be gut level, and this isn't going to surprise anybody, but over this last year, not just with COVID, but the 5 months or 6 months before that with my mom, between her death and moving and getting a new house and all those kind of things, I've really lost focus. And also I love being with people, so not being able to have events, but realizing through that all that a lot of that was just me allowing that to happen. I love the quote from Margaret Mead that's a part of this article that says, what people say, what people do, and what they say they do are 2 different, it can be different things. And so, I really was floundering. And so realizing through this time management and accountability. And I think for part of that was, trying to decide now in this new environment, how do I want to do my business? And, I'm always been so in awe of you, Elaine, because focus, it's just amazing what you accomplish and what your low focus has always been such a source of incredible awe for me. And then trying to decide, like you said about systems, do I focus one day on team and one day on customers, or do I do the 2 by 2 by 2 because it's so easy for me to get distracted? And I think what I've discovered too is, probably going back to really planning on Sunday nights, because I can't jump in on Monday and be powerfully effective if I'm waiting till then to come up with a plan. So, yeah.
And I think you led us right into back to this plan. I always am a Scott Mason quoter. He always says, systems are a dime a dozen, but if you want to be successful, you have to have one. And so I believe this plan is kind of back to what you're saying. You can either do, for many years, we've talked about the 2 by 2 by 2, 2 prospects a day, 2 follow-ups a day, 2 customers a day, 2 partners a day. So that's that 2 by 2 by 2, if you like a little bit of variety, or kind of back to, I know for many years I focused on Mondays I focused on partners, Tuesdays on customers, Wednesdays on prospect customers, and Thursdays on prospect partners. So whatever works for you is great, but there has to be that kind of that second question, which I think you went right into, Brenda, is what activities have you been focusing on? And we know this business is simple. It's not a complicated system. What's complicated is keeping ourselves focused. That, and I think in a world that we live in where everyone has an attention span of about 5 seconds, everything's shut down to pictures anymore. We don't even have time to read. We don't even focus enough to read. And so I think I keep coming back asking myself, and kind of like what you're saying, Brenda, is how am I doing as a leader? Even in the midst of those challenging times when we're pulled away, I've got to figure out as a leader, work on myself. How can I be there for my family right now in this crisis, for my brother, but how can I also stay focused? And I think it boils down to those activities. Maybe my activities may have to shut down a bit, but I'm still focused on doing a certain amount of activities, maybe instead of doing 2, 2, and 2, maybe I do 2 a day, and so the activities of, I love what you said, accountability, and then also time management. And so here's a question for you guys, because we're going to open it up and hear from y'all. Do you have an accountability partner, and who is it? And are they, kind of back to our plan, are they holding you accountable to a plan? Whether it's this plan or whatever plan that works for you, who's checking your work, basically? Brenda's the teacher, I'm throwing that out. Who's checking your work? Who's holding you accountable? Are you asking someone to hold you accountable? All right, number 3, Brenda, what are your strengths that you bring to the table in this business?
Well, I think as a teacher, it's really important to me to help to break. I think one of my strengths is I can break things down into chunks that can carry people along the way. And I think I have a lot of information stored, so I can usually access something that I need or something that someone else needs. And the other thing is, it's very important to me, especially with new people, to help them accomplish at least the first 2 or 3 goals, because, and I'm pretty relentless with that, because, I try not to let them not make those goals, because, again, they don't know what they don't know. And that is, I really see that as my job. And I think going back to the reason that I feel so strongly about the accountability, in terms of my personal goals, when you were talking about what I knew that I needed to be an NMD, as a single mom, I wanted to retire. I wanted to do this. And what really helped me for the last push was not only being accountable to you, Elaine, but I was taking a personal development program. And part of that program, I went on to the next step where you had an accountability partner, and I had to call him every day and tell him what I was doing. And it was that impetus of, because he would call me on my junk, every day. And it really was what I needed. And I want to be there for my team too, and really help them to make those goals so that they can have what they want. But yeah, like you said, finding out what they want. But I think that my strengths are, kind of pushing people and to help them and get them the information they need.
Well, and I think that rolls us into that last question is, how are you investing in your partners? So if what propelled you to National Marketing Director was that personal development program holding you accountable, because you asked for it and you wanted it, and it propelled you to National Marketing Directors. How do you see, as a leader on the team, and guys, be answering these questions, because I'm gonna ask some of you guys these questions too. How are you going forward, going to invest in your partners to help them, lock arms with them to achieve their goals?
And that's one thing I have to say, and really just ask for forgiveness, because I haven't been there for my team. And it's, it's something where I've just been hiding in so many ways. And so my goal is, this group of people that I know on my team want to go as far as they can go. And so really making a commitment, and Elaine, you're my accountability partner. I'm going to, submit this to you, but really to my team, and well, really to all of Team Extreme, to be there for them. I mean, literally, checking in weekly, because I know that you've been so great at that. You have always been so great at that for me. But that's an area I really need to be there for them and to grow in that area. So that's my commitment to you guys. And I, like I said, I really regret not being more focused on that.
All right. Well, thank you for just those honest questions. And let me open it up to Brenda. Do you have those questions in case I forget it? Because I want to
Yes.
open it up.
Yeah,
Those 4 questions. Wow, we got a lot of people. Great. Welcome everyone who I didn't get a welcome earlier. Let me throw those questions out. Number 1, that focus on your personal development. If you guys caught what she said, it was that focus on personal development and accountability that literally propelled her to National Marketing Director. Who in here can share, here's where my focus is on myself and developing myself. Here's what I'm being intentional about, and here's what I'm focusing on. Somebody got something they wrote down as Brenda was talking that would like to share? Or I may have to start picking on some people. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start picking on some people. Precious, are you available to talk? I see your name up there. We missed. Is she there? Okay, now I'm gonna pick one.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I can talk.
So personally, I'm picking on you now. Where, from a personal development, what are you personally doing to develop yourself as a leader?
Well, since January, you know the saying, like, if you change your thinking, you change your life. So I've been very intentional about getting mad, and that's an acronym, MAD, getting mad. And that MAD is making a decision, being truthful with myself about what it is that I need, and then going out and actually getting it, not putting that responsibility on anybody else. So whatever I've lacked in regards to my business, I'm taking accountability for it and then going and actually fixing it. So my personal development since January has been doing the GoPro training. And I've been doing every single week since January on Saturday. I meet with my team for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. And we watch every episode. We take notes. We participate in the questions. I make sure I tell everybody, don't turn your camera off. I want to see your face. I want you to take notes. We're asking questions. We're doing homework. And so something I just never did, and I'm going into activity, so I'm sorry, but something that I never ever did is I never gave homework to my team. And so that's what I'm doing right now. So I let them see me transparent, everything I expect them to do, I do it myself. I'm not just out here, giving instruction. I'm doing everything that I tell them to do.
I love it. And see, I didn't know whether or not I hadn't talked to Precious ahead of time. So you get an A+, man. You came through with a great response, and it proves that you're doing, that working on yourself. Go pro, man. That is the beginning of how to do this business. So I love that. The second one, the activities. What activities are you doing that you are focused on? And I'm going to pick on, is Riley on here? I'm going to pick on Riley because I know she's been working in this area. Are you on here, Riley? I can't believe it if she's not. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to have to pick on somebody else. Let me see. Who am I going to pick on? You know what? I'm gonna pick on Caitlin, and the reason I am is Caitlin. None of it. 4 kids, and all teeny. But Caitlin, I see you showing up all the time. So you obviously have focus on your activities. Give us some pointers on your focus and how you do it with all that you're juggling right now.
Okay, well, right now I'm in my laundry room changing laundry because we have to multitask. Mainly right now, Brenda, as you were talking, I was thinking like I have not done a great job connecting with my team and my partners, but I am very consistent in checking my virtual office and connecting and staying on top of my customers and just making sure that I'm supporting them through everything. And then just being very intentional about when I have those few moments when I go to the bathroom by myself or something like that, trying to post something on social media that is relevant to our daily lives that could help another mom or something like that to continue to generate interest and build up and generate the income. Or sorry, those customers. A kid just walked in. Sorry.
Okay, and as long as you can talk, I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Okay.
So you said, okay, I feel like I'm doing the activities, and you've got obviously a system with those customers. So that focus is there. The activity of connecting with those partners, any idea of how you're going to go about having focus on them as well?
I think I need to start writing it down, because when I log into my virtual office, I can see all of my customers and the shipments that are coming up. And when I log into my Teamsy, usually that's what I see first is my customers, but I'm not seeing as many partners' names roll up. And so I think if I write those down and bring those front of mind, then I can connect more easily with them.
Okay.
I need that visual.
Sure.
All right. And I've got a form that I just put together, and I'll post it on Team Extreme Facebook so you can see it. That has been helping me kind of focus on those people who have said, I want to build and grow a business. So, you know, kind of back to what she said, the customers are their kind of interface, because we know we don't want those customers' orders to ship out. So we've got those alerts. But I think when it comes to connecting with our partners, that's a little bit more of a challenge but yet that's really where we're going to develop and build our business. If you think about it, adding customers is addition to your paycheck. Adding partners is multiplication. And so, you know, getting just as good at connecting with those partners. I'm going to pick on, because I'm going to pick on Carrie and Joey just for a minute. Yes, because I know they have been hyper-focused, because I check in with them, and when they know what they got to do to hit the next level, they know what their partners need to do to help them progress. So you guys, give us some pointers on what was the turning point for you guys when it came to that focus on your team?
I think this year we look back at last year, and I realized where I was actually failing was my team was not taking being a business owner as serious as I should have been. I have never been a business owner, so I really didn't understand truly the full depth of that. So this year we started improving ourselves and thinking about this as this is our business. This is not just some little game, it's a business. So we started doing things to improve ourselves there first. And then last year we failed our team as well by not making accountability, really accountability. You know, we connected with them, but it was just, okay, we connected with them, but we weren't being real, you know, firm with the accountability side of it. So this year we've been trying to meet every Sunday night and helping them grow in confidence and sharing the product and knowing what kind of business we have. This is an awesome business. So, you know, just building their comfort zone and then trying to help them build with that so they can build their business.
Yeah, like you, Elaine, most of our partners have had tragedy in their life this past year. And so our focus is on their focus, and being sympathetic to that at the same time, trying to bring them along in a way that they can refocus their attention on their business and kind of slip away from that other stuff.
Mhm.
That's good.
Good point. Good
That's
point. All right. I think that third question was we talked about strength. I'm going to call on somebody and see who knows what their strengths are, and are you focusing on them, and how are you focusing on them in your business? I'm seeing Aaron's cute face right now. Aaron Lemmy. Well, either Aaron, both of them I'm seeing. Either one of you can answer this. Whichever one wants to jump on first. What are your strengths, and how do you use them in this Juice Plus business? All right, there's Aaron. Okay, Aaron B.
Hi. I am really working on, and I know for sure it's encouragement. Just being able to encourage people where they're at, and the art to encouragement is really being able to have an ear to listen and to see where there are and where I know they need to be, and where they need to hear a voice of either wisdom or a voice of encouragement or cheerleader. So I focus on encouragement to take them to the next step, motivating to step out of their comfort zone, being a place of encourage. I have to be encouraged. And that's the main thing, is that we all talked about being a leader is being able to stay in a place where your gifts are, which is encouragement, being encouraged. And so you can give encouragement. So I'm at that place where I'm so encouraged. I'm just going to spill it over to everybody who wants it. And just recognizing people are in different spaces and places, but everybody needs an encouragement word. Everybody needs to know that they're cared about. Everybody needs to know that they're loved and appreciated. And everybody needs to know that they can do more if they just step out and do something different. And I want to say faith, we step out and walk on water, take one step.
Good.
That's where I'm at.
That's good.
I love that. Knowing her strength, I can so see that, Aaron, that you are an encourager, and taking that strength, because that's when we're going to soar, knowing what our strengths are, and then how do I incorporate that into my business? And, we are in a relationship business, and what a better way to develop relationships with people than be intentional about encouraging people where they are on their journey. Love that. All right, the last question was in regard to your partners, and I asked Carrie and Joey, didn't I, about how you guys were going about, and they started the Sunday night team meeting. So those 4 areas, I want to challenge you guys this week when you're thinking about this whole skill of focus. Those 4 areas. How am I focusing on myself to become a better leader? What am I doing to become a better leader? Where's my focus? What's those activities I'm focusing on to help me execute and grow my business? The third is what's my focus in regard to my strength? Am I focusing on it, and how am I using it? And then lastly, how am I focusing on my partners? And, if those 4 areas we hone in on and really focus on and keep front and top of mind, we will develop that skill and take our leadership skills to the next level. Because if you want to think about it, is would you follow you? Are you focused enough to that people will follow you because you demonstrate that leadership skill of focus? And I think that's the question we want to ask ourselves each week, whatever that leadership skill is we're talking about, is am I a focused leader? And could someone recognize that in me? Or am I all over the board? I'm here, I'm there. You know, can people follow you? That's what leadership is. People follow you. Can people follow me in the area of focus? Am I demonstrating focus to my team to the point that they're going to follow suit and do the same? And so that's what we want to be. We want to be the best partner that we can be. So that in turn, our team, I want to work on being a 10, and I want to look honestly at myself and say, where are my areas that I need to improve on so that, you know, my team will follow. And, you know, if I can raise the bar as a leader, I know what's going to happen is my team's going to do the same too. So anyway, any questions before we wrap it up? All right, I'm going to stop the recording. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I was like, did I